Hi everybody and welcome to Dave's Garage. Today I'm going to be doing an unboxing of the Grandstone diesel boot in the saddle tan leather from Badalassi Carlo. So I ordered these boots when they were on their Black Friday sale, and I had to get something else to qualify for the discount, so that's why I added this little shoehorn. I'll probably just give this to my wife, let her use that. It's also a little bottle opener, which is kind of cool. Ooh, look at this, comes in, look at this, there's no like bubble wrap or anything, comes in like this towel. Wow, and they come in boot bags, labeled Grandstone, very fancy. Yeah, so here is the diesel boot by Grandstone in the saddle tan leather by the Italian tannery Badalassi Carlo. I've heard really good things about the leather that comes from Badalassi Carlo, and so I really like the saddle tan. And so when I saw this with lug sole, I was like, ooh, definitely want to try this out, beat it up, see how it is, because this looks really beautiful. And this is actually a new makeup that just was recently released by Grandstone in the fall, the fall of 2024, where they released this leather with a lug sole. Because usually the saddle tan leather only comes in a leather sole. So if you guys aren't familiar with Grandstone, I'm sure some of you guys are, but Grandstone is an American company that manufactures their boots out of China, and they are well known in the boot community for being just super high quality boots with great materials and great leathers, and they just have some of the best finishing, and their boots, they're always fairly priced, and some would argue that they punch well above their price range in terms of quality and in terms of value for your dollar. But just everything I've read online about Grandstone, their finishing is up there with some of the best boot brands in the world. I wouldn't expect anything less from Grandstone. The finishing on this boot is definitely top notch. Yeah, the boot bags feel really high quality. The boots don't even come with any bubble wrap. They come with this like Grandstone towel. This cardboard box is just super high quality. It's just, everything about it just makes Grandstone just sort of like look like some like high-end, really super expensive boot brand. I don't know, whenever I think of Grandstone, I think of like sort of like dressier boots, which I don't really wear boots for like the office or for dress, so that's why I've never really been attracted to a lot of looks from Grandstone, though they do have some pretty cool leather options. So yeah, it looks like you get one set of laces with these pair of boots. They give you some leather laces, which is pretty sweet. And yeah, again, this is my first pair of Grandstones, and so I'm definitely not going to wear these for heavy duty work, but I'm definitely not going to take it easy on these boots. This lug sole definitely is something I'm going to plan on wearing to, more rugged areas, and because I really love this leather and can't wait to see how it changes and patinas over time. Like I said, this leather is from the Italian tannery Badalassi Carlo. Grandstone calls this color saddle tan. And so Badalassi Carlo, they're a very well-known Italian tannery for their full veg tan leathers, and their leathers are known for having just really nice rolling and creasing, because sometimes when leather is worn and it breaks in, you'll get some pretty harsh creasing where your foot bends. But we'll see how this develops over time, but I've heard so many good things about Badalassi Carlo and their leathers. Well, looks like there is a little bit of a scratch here. Look at that. Deduct 1 point from Grandstone. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's fine. It's not deep at all, but it definitely does look like something scraped that. Okay, so Grandstone says on their website about this boot that, let's see, the Badalassi Carlo Tannery's Minerva leather is one of our favorite leathers. This boutique Italian tannery specializes in vegetable tanning. During the process, this leather is placed in a botali A large barrel that rotates, allowing the organic tanning substances to stay in contact with the article, so the leather. A complete cycle may take 30 to 35 days. The result is an incredibly rich leather with transparency and depth. It says the leather can have prominent vamp breaks and a variation of colors. Since this is a light-colored vegetable tanned article, areas on the boot may have darker hues. Yeah? All right, so let's go over the build. So it looks like, again, this one is on their proprietary Commando lug sole. They looks like they do have leather heel stack, a little bit of a heel stack, a small one. And this one does have a full leather midsole. And then this one is a 360-degree Goodyear well that wraps around the whole boot. And then let's see. So this boot is built on Grant Stone's Leolast. And so this Leolast is, sometimes I've heard it be compared to, you know, Alden's True Balance last. It's just I've heard good things about this last. Haven't heard a lot about the arch support. I'm sure this is just a standard service boot, in terms of arch support. But the toe box is supposed to be, nice and comfy and roomy. As you can see, it's not too pointy. The boot actually has a pretty nice round toe box, so that's nice. And it's not too tall at the toe, so it's got a nice taper to it that gives it a slimmer silhouette, a nice sleeker looking boot, so that's really cool. So they use a cork filling to fill the cavity created by the welt. And then, let's see, they do have a full veg tan insole. But yeah, there's the veg tan insole, has a half sock liner. Looks like mainly just over the heel area. Oh, and then this leather, or this boot is, they say it's fully lined. Looks like it's fully lined with kip leather lining. So they, you have this saddle tan leather from Badalassi Carlo. And then they also, looks like they line it. Yeah, the whole boot is fully leather lined. I'm sure you guys can see that in there. Yeah, even the tongue is lined. I'm pretty sure that Grant Stone, they use a steel shank to give this arch some rigidity right over this heel. Looks like they have 4 eyelets and then 3 sets of speed hooks. They have a external counter cover with a 2-piece backstay. It's supposed to give it a more unique look, this curve. I'm not sure about you guys, but the silhouette of the diesel boot has always been sort of like, I think it's a cool looking boot, but I've never fallen madly in love with it. If you guys have diesel boots, or if you guys don't prefer diesel boots, let me know why down in the comments. But yeah, I mean, I really like this leather. I like the, the makeup. I kind of wish the staining on the sides of the sole edges were a little bit lighter, a little bit more natural. So it looks like this heel is approximately just about 1.25 inches tall if we measure just from the bottom of the outsole and only count the leather heel stack and the heel topper. This heel is looks like 3/4 inch tall. From the bottom of the heel to the top, looks like it is basically about 7 inches. But if we only go from the welt to the top of the shaft, looks like it's just about 5 3/4 tall. Yeah, so 5 1/4 maybe. Yeah, that's how tall it is if I'm just pressing on the heel. Yeah, 5 1/4, almost. That's how tall the boot is. Kind of wish I could get this without the full leather lining. I guess there are some benefits to having leather lining. Like I said, it makes the boot finishing just look nicer. It probably makes it easier for you to slide your foot in there. I don't know, I just like being able to have less leather around my ankle. And then also just having the leather just be a little bit more breathable. even though it probably doesn't make too much of a difference. That's just my preference. Let's try these bad boys on. Oh, I forgot to point out, looks like these boots, they are partially gusseted. Looks like the gusset only goes up to just barely the third eyelet. But, you know, Grandstone boots, they're not work boots, so, you know, don't expect people to wear these and really need a gusset. But definitely will help with the tongue sliding, so that's nice. So, well, let's talk about the size. So these are a 10D. My average shoe size, sneakers and gym shoes, I get a 10.5. In my Iron Rangers, I wear a 10D. In my P&W boots, I wear a 10D. I wear a size 10 in Parkhurst, and I also wear a size 10 in Truman. How does the fit compare? Well, I'll tell you right now, the left boot feels tighter than the right boot. Maybe I laced it up tighter, but you know, just looking at my laces, I definitely laced up my right boot tighter than my left boot. As you can see, this gap is like barely 2 fingers, and this gap is like just over 2 fingers. And so, I don't know, but the left boot does feel tighter for some reason. I feel like this last actually hugs my waist and my heel a little bit better than, say, compared to like Parkhurst boots. Like in Parkhurst boots, the 602 M last in Parkhurst definitely doesn't hug my my heel and my waist as, let's say, as firmly as these do. These are not as roomy as the Parkhurst last, and definitely not as roomy as like the Truman 20 last. The 79 last on Truman is definitely has a wider waist and heel. No complaints. I'm not saying that they're too tight or they're uncomfortable, but I like that my heel and my waist actually do feel pretty firmly seated in this boot. But yeah, no like negative comments on the toe box. If anything, it may look just like a little round or a little awkward shaped, but I think it actually looks pretty cool. And I like that the silhouette is nice and sleek looking. If you need to insert some insoles to give yourself more arch support, I would say probably, you know, don't size down half a size, because I sized down just half a size and I went with my Iron Ranger size, my Parkhurst size, my Truman size, and these are, there's really not a lot of room in these for my feet to like move around, which is a good thing. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. My toes aren't squished. It's definitely not one of the wider toe boxes. It's definitely not one of the more roomy toe boxes, at least compared to the Truman 20 last and the Parkhurst last. For me, at least, for my foot, this definitely doesn't feel like one of those roomier toe boxes for my foot, but they still fit good. Well, let me just wrap it up and say, what are my concerns? Well, I'm really interested to see how this leather breaks in, see how it creases and rolls. And just, you know, I'm in general, I'm just interested to see how Grandstone boots hold up compared to like Truman or Oak Street or Parkhurst. For me personally, their boots have never been sort of like my cup of tea, but I do like this build and I like the way it looks. But yeah, you know, if you guys have Grandstone, you know, let me know your thoughts, you know, what you think about Grandstone. What's been your experience like with Grandstone? You know, which do you prefer? Do you prefer Grandstone? Do you prefer Parkhurst? Do you prefer Truman? Let me know down in the comments. I really do appreciate you guys watching, and let me know if you guys want me to do an update on these, and I will see you on the next video.